What were your second thoughts after watching the film again?
Well, not second thoughts, but when you watch a film, there's a lot to build on, but then it's just too many mistakes against a good football team to win a game like that. So, when you lose a turnover battle on the road, you're usually probably going to lose a football game. So we need to protect the ball better on the offensive side of the ball. First and foremost, I think that's where it starts for us. So we'll get back to work this week. Get ready for San Diego State.
Well, what were when you looked at what Dorian did a second time? What was your assessment of?
I look at the offense.
Okay.
It's never just one person that plays fantastic, and it's never just one person that doesn't play fantastic. So I think the whole offense as a group, we need to do a better job clicking. We had some new guys up front. Obviously, that their front presented some problems and issues for us, but we got to protect him better. We got to be able to be a little bit cleaner in the pocket and give him a little bit more time, because I thought our receivers did a decent job of getting open, but there were times where we just didn't have enough time to get him in football. So overall, offensively, we were not very good.
He had 4 turnovers, obviously, in that game. Did you ever think about making a change?
We
at
had
quarterback?
4 turnovers,
Okay.
so that's how we look at it. It's a team. Again, it's not a one-man show in any stretch of the imagination, so that's not how we look at it. One of the balls, our receiver ran the wrong route. He was supposed to be going deep and then put the brakes on and ran the other way, but the quarterback, you don't put that on the quarterback. So I think sometimes, obviously in that position, you get too much blame when things don't go well, and sometimes you get too much credit when things do go well. So we've never looked at it that way.
Did you ever think about going with a different quarterback?
No.
What did you think of Sean Ryan making his first start with Tampa?
Sean did, for the first time playing in a college football game, I thought Sean did a good job. It was obviously a learning experience for him, just like it was for John Gaines. But when you go through the whole game and look at the positives and things you can build upon, they're certainly there. I think he's extremely talented. He's really coachable. And now that he's got his first game experience, there's so much to teach and talk about with him. He was anxious to get in here and sit down and visit with Coach Fry and talk about what we need to do to get better. And I'm excited about his future. So.
What kind of progress has John Gaines showed from last year redshirting and then getting his first start?
Physically, he's stronger. I don't think he was really prepared from a physical standpoint coming in last year as a true freshman. Most true freshmen aren't Sean Ryan. But I think he's grown and done a lot of work in the offseason in the weight room, getting himself bigger, faster, stronger. So you can see how he's developed from that standpoint. And it's the same thing for him. There was some good from that game, and there were some things that we need to correct from that game.
5 guys who were dinged up who didn't play. Any thoughts on their likeliness to play?
We'll see. Today's the first day of training, so we'll get an opportunity to train here Monday through Thursday, and then make a decision on where those guys stand. So we'll assess them just like we did last week. Most of those guys trained last week, but it wasn't where we thought it was safe to put them in a game. So if it's not safe to put them in a game, we're not going to put them in. But we won't know anything about those guys until we get through this week of training.
So is it fair to say that maybe it wasn't the healthiest training camp?
No.
You had 5 guys
No.
who were starters who didn't play.
Yeah.
Because of injuries.
We were on a team last year where we medical 8 guys.
Something like that.
For the year, for their careers.
Right.
So I would say we've had 2 training camps. I would say this training camp was a lot healthier than last year's training camp. So those are the 2 to compare them to. So.
Casimir Allen, is there an update on his status?
Nope.
Do you know when you might?
There's no update on the
Okay.
status, so I don't know anything else besides what I told you the other day.
If this was a Pac-12 game, do you think some of those dinged up guys might have played?
Safety is the first and foremost thing that we always talk about, and it doesn't matter if it's a Pac-12 game or the Super Bowl. If they're physically ready to play, they'll play. If they're not physically ready to play, then we're not going to put them out there. So we're always going to err on the side of safety for our players.
You talked about protecting Dorian. How much of that was having 2 new guys in there?
I think it was a combination of everything. So, it's not just one thing. I think we all want to just say it's just one thing, fix that, we're good, and let's move forward. But it's not that. It's on one play, the 2 young guys did a great job, but then we had to break down on the other side. So it's a combination of all of those factors. Then when you go through and look at it, it's not just one thing.
Keegan Jones and Jamal McClennan did not play. Are they just not ready at this point, or what's
No,
their status?
they weren't ready to play. So just because you're here in camp doesn't mean that you play. So you got to earn your playing time, and obviously Dimitrik and Irby have done a really good job showing us that we can trust them putting them in. And those other 2 guys are young kids that are growing and have bright futures here, but they weren't ready to play in a football game last Thursday night. So.
What positives can you take from a game like that, and help teach the kids?
I thought we did a good job in teams besides the one, the kickoff cover. We had him down inside the 20-yard line, but we just missed on the tackle. And then I thought our pursuit and effort was pretty good there. We protected the punter well. So from a special team standpoint, there were some positives that we can build upon. In defense, I thought we tackled well. We need to continue to do that to be good on the defensive side of the ball. And then we were just sporadic. There were hit and miss plays on the offensive side of the ball. I think Felton in the past game was a real help with the running back coming out of the backfield. And is a matchup problem, I think, for some people. So we need to continue to grow from that standpoint.
DBs seemed like there were some plays where they were giving up some yards as far as sagging off guys. Was that just a coverage?
Well, we were in zone coverage, so
Yeah.
I mean that's what happens. You can play man, and if you play man, you're closer to your guy. But if you play man, then you're susceptible to different type of routes. So some of the zone stuff where give their quarterback credit, he found kind of the holes in the zone of where the ball should go, and did a good job.
What can you say about the production of the defensive line?
They were solid. I think we can get more of a pass rush out of those guys. I thought they did a decent job in the run game, but we need to generate a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. So.
I know you are looking at the entire offense, but when you look at Dorian individually, what do you want to see the most growth in him right now?
Everything. I mean, you ask the same question all the time, and we say the same thing. There's not one thing where it's, if he throws with his left foot open, we're fantastic and everything's fixed. It's every day we need to get better as a group, and it doesn't matter if you're a running back or a quarterback or a wide receiver or an offensive lineman. We need to get better at all the fundamental skills to continue to grow. And I love his work ethic, and he always continues to work and grow that way. So, when it comes to training today, we'll go back to working on everything. Working on footwork, working on ball placement, working on ball carriage. Working on decision making, all the things that you do with a quarterback. But it's never. I wish it was. I wish there was one thing you could just point to and say, hey, let's do that. Close your left shoulder when you throw the ball, and we'll complete every pass, and we'll be good for the rest of your career. But it's not that way. I mean, you go to whether it's Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, it's it's fundamentals, and it's the things you got to work on every single day. And then that's what all sports are like. It's no different than a basketball player where, I'm good at free throws, so I don't have to work on them anymore. You got to work on free throws every day. You got to work on your three every day. You got to work on your low post moves every day. It's the same exact thing in football. So.
I don't think we ever asked you, what's Darnay's injury?
What's that?
What's Darnay's injury?
Ankle.
How's the mindset
Okay.
of the team?
It's good.
Thank you.